Good morning. It is the 21st of January 2023. Happy New Year. A few weeks in, a couple of weeks in. So I'm going to start another video on a new project. I've got two that I'm going to start within the next week or so. One's with my quilt group, but this one is my own personal one. And it's called Quadrangle. It's a free pattern. I shall put the link below to where it is. And it's by Moda. Really simple squares with a little white sort of background, thin lines of background, and little tiny squares as well there. So, let's see how we go. I'll try and keep it a little bit simple. It's not a lesson, this. It's just a video of how I do this, and a recording of what I do in my time. So I have the instructions, and it's a jelly roll. I bought a jelly roll quite a few months ago, and I wanted to use it. It's been sitting there annoying me. This is the only jelly roll I've got in my collection, so I don't often get to the shops and that. So blue, funny colour blue. I'm putting it on a cream background. I did think about, hold on. I did think about this one, because the creams in the jelly roll would show up nice. Let me get one. Show up nice against that. Yeah, so I'm still, you know what you're like, still, see, it's not quite as prominent, but there again, you don't want everything prominent, so I'm going to stick with the cream. I think I've got a bit more of it. I probably haven't got enough for the whole quilt anyway. It says 2 meters, I think I've got 1.5 meters. But I'm not too worried. It's not specifically for a bed or for anyone, you know, it's just something I'm going to make and see what happens with it. So the first thing I've got to do is, these are 42-inch wide, 2.5-inch width here, width of fabric, WOF, and I've got to cut them into 21-inch strips. So that's trimming off the edges. I've forgotten what they're called now, but anyway, you know, where they make the machine. So just trim the little bits off and then measure 21. So I'll cut that, I'll show you in a minute. I'll cut that, turn it round, put that edge on the end of my cutting mat and measure 21 there, which will come to about there. So that's the next project, next part of it. I've got to do, let me have a look here, make sure yeah, I've got to cut strips in half, before cutting, right, it's 36 strips, cut them in half, and then I make put 36 together of contrasting. So I'll have 36, I've got blue, this tan browny colour, and then the creams, get one, then the creams. So like I'll put the blue and the cream together, blue and tan together, and the cream and tan together. Obviously different patterns and stuff, so you get a general idea. And then, so when I cut them to 21, which I've got one here, I've got a couple here. Hold on. Right, so they're 21. And I sew the contrasting ones together, 1/4 inch, per usual. And that's the first start of it. Okay, so that's the basics start of putting these little squares together. So I shall get on with that, film a little bit of it cutting. And so, don't know what to say. Don't know how to go about this. It's a nightmare trying to film it yourself, isn't it? You've got to think of these things. I just want to sew, like, but I want this for prosperity for my grandchildren, for my children, to see how hard I work. I don't sit here idle like a little old lady. So, yeah, we'll carry on with the video. Right. So now I'm going to cut these into 21, this one, into 21-inch strips. So again, I'm 42, there's the fold. You do it, just make sure, because sometimes these might be put together slightly off, not onto, you know, joining each other. So just make sure of that. This one is, as you can see, there's the fold, and yeah, they meet. Make it nice and straight again. And just put it on the line of your mat. Hold on, I've just had my stuff out, so I've lost bits. Line up your ruler line as well if you want. You can do it that way anyway, but make sure you take off the part that the machine uses when they're printing the fabric to drag it through the rollers. Excuse me. So that's that. Drop that. And I'll turn it over, put it back to this line, the beginning line. Hold on, I don't like that. Oh no, that's okay. See, look, I've got a little bit of white there, but I know, no, that could be taken in with 1/4 inch that I'm sewing, but I'm going to do it again. Not happy with that. Do a job, do it properly, innit? Not that I always do that, but we try. Only a sliver or so, it won't make it small. You know, I'll get the 21 out of it. So put that on the edge of my mat on the line. Line it all up nice and neat. Along the edge line here, along this line. And again, you use the lines on your ruler to make it straight as well against your fabric. So 21. And it's just that little bit there that came off. And that's, I'll make them 36. I'll probably end up making them more, knowing me. 36 different colours, so I can get different combinations of. I did actually cut that one before. I thought, right, get the camera out, let's film. So I've done that one. Oh, my brain, I can't remember what that edge is called. Again, line it up there, the bottom line, edge and bottom line. Ruler on, 21. Remember it's 21 because I'm telling myself. And a little bit off. And there's 2 strips of 21. And I'll pick a cream one. Again, I'm looking at the edge. Right, that's okay. It's on the fold. Just make sure I take enough off that time. See, I don't need to bother about this left-hand side. You're all right. Is it you all right? I can't remember. Or here, all I'm doing is trimming off this edge. Line it up with the top and bottom of my ruler. I do with this as well. Get hold of it, swing it over to the edge of the mat line and along here. 21, not 21.5 or 20.5 bell. And see, that's a little bit wider. I have no idea. I must have cut off more of the other ends, you know. Not very good at maths. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do till I get to the next stage. So now what I'm doing is sewing 2 of the 21-inch strips together, and I'll chain stitch them. I've already just started one, and of course an inch away. Contrasting colours, light and dark. Like that. I could set my machine for faster sign, but actually my table is not very stable. It's not. One you fold up and pull out, so it's not a good solid wood table. So it tends to bounce a bit if I go faster. But I'm in no rush. Not making it for someone's birthday or something. For my own pleasure. I was in a wool shop yesterday. I was doing a bit of crocheting, so I wanted some wool. Like everyone, crafters, you know, I met some quilters there, and hold on, I'm just looking because I've got like the little holy bit that has been dragged through when the fabric was being made, printed, but that's okay. It's a 1/4 inch allowance. So yeah, I was in there, so we're talking about quilting, and one woman she bought these magazines, and it cost her a fortune, 300 quid. Well, it costs a few bob to make a quilt, doesn't it? And she said, I'll never get the money back for that. But I did say to her, you know, you're going to spend 150 or something on fabrics by the time you finish buying different colours. You know, if you look at it, but you haven't got any stock in your cupboard. And that's the way I look at it. And I just make mine for pleasure. I says, I'm not worried about selling them. And if I die, my son will have to worry about it. So, I did give a few away this Christmas, but there's only so many family members and only so many they want, isn't it? You know. So just chain stitch them. Simple. Working out the colours, try not to repeat them, but you will. But of course they're separated in the quilt anyway. So, the last one, that's a brown and a tan, a brown and a blue one. Put those two together. Nice and straight. Don't pull it, don't pull it. Done that in the past and it will fit. Oh, but these are cut perfect, so. The good thing about jelly rolls, half the work's done. I don't know if you can hear me over this, so I'll just have to wait till I get to the editing part. Right, that's that part for the moment. I've sewn all the strips together. Got rid of the seam, contrasting. So now, what they tell you to do, because the jelly rolls have got the snipped edges, you know, it's not straight like, you put your ruler on the 2 1/4. Because you've got 1/4 of an inch seam, so you've got to allow for that. So you put your ruler on the 2 1/4 on your stitching line, and then we trim off this tiny wee excess. Hardly see it, but it gives it a nice straight edge. Oh, don't slip. Some of it a miss and that. So if I pull that away, hopefully you'll see the little bits of excess there. But it gives you, well, hopefully, a nice straight edge. So I've got 36 of these. So that's what I'm going to do for the next 10 minutes. So again, put it straight on there. 2 1/4, must remember that, not 2 and, well, it won't fit 2 1/2. 2 1/4 on your sewing line, not on the edge of the fabric on the left, on the sewing line. That way. Roll out the way. And there you can see a little bit. It's not much, but it does straighten up that edge a bit. Obviously, it did say scant, so really I should have gone a wee bit more towards the oh God, snipped edge memory, and that would have given me, because it doesn't matter if that was nearer to the edge, as long as I measure from the line, from the sewing line to there is 2 1/4. But that's fine. At least then I know it's accurate, because some of them might be out a little bit. So we'll do one more, and then I'll do the rest myself. Sometimes even with a foot to 2 1/2 inch, sorry, 1/4 of an inch foot, you can still wander a little bit. And you want to match the seams when you get all this together. So again, there's the blue that I've shaved off. And there we are. See, there's a 1/4 inch there, so that's fine. Perfect. So I should do these now. Now they're cut into these strips. Now we're going to join them into a square like so. So, obviously, one light's not very good, I know. Well, the camera helps. So we butt them, like I previously said, butt them next to each other. One going one way and one going another. The seams on the left. I'm sewing all my seams facing up. I mean, you could do it on the other side from facing down, but I've learned to make sure all the seams, when I get on the machine, are facing the same way. And again, it's 1/4 of an inch. I'm doing chain, lost my foot, chain stitching them all together. Using a 1/4 inch foot, some of that over there, butt them together. Make sure that's all meeting there. So I bring them all down here, the one colour. Same colour theme. Again, don't sound like that. Done that before. And butt. See, again, that is facing up away. So this is the seam I want to do. Obviously, you can do it down away, but I like to be consistent because in the end, they all, even though I've got a border right round, if you're going to join 2 blocks together, they go the opposite way. For instance, let's put it this way. If I was doing them 2 and then another 2, these 2 would face the opposite way when I got them together, the middle section. So that's why I do that. Again, butt them together. Not on top of each other, just button right on the seam. And there we go. So again, make sure they're the opposite way. Seam going up away. That one wasn't sewn. Wasn't ironed very well. A bit loose, but it'll be alright. I'll just leave it as it is because I've cut it that way. Gone out of kilter there a bit. Just take it over. Don't pull and jag it, just take it over. I like to make sure that seam's button. That's the most important thing, the seam button against each other. You can always trim after, but it's lovely when they go together. So again, like if I'd done it that way, that would be under the machine going down, and I don't want that, so I turn it round. And one more. Turn it round, opposite way. A bit where I trimmed it. Oh, there's a cotton on my floor. And that's basically it. So I shall finish all this lot. I've got a few more to cut as well. So I'll get all these done before we try and sort some borders out. It's a different day. and I'm back to my little jelly roll quilt squares. So I've done the sewn the four together like that, opposite squares. 4.5 inch strips for the borders, plus 4.5 strips sewn to a 1.5 inch square to make the middle. Hold on. As it's been a couple of days, I can't remember what I filmed. So that's how it's going to end up. They're obviously different colours, with the little blocks in between. Now the leaflet that I got, the printout I got, it said sew that strip all together to sew it on, but I do it a different way. So first of all, I put a 4.5 inch, I lay it down on the table. I'm going to show you the table to show you what I'm talking about. Because the darker ones I'm eating in the middle like that, I lay each one on the table. It's a different day, and I'm back to my little jelly roll quilt squares. So I've done the sewn the four together like that, opposite squares. 4.5 inch strips for the borders, plus 4.5 strips sewn to a 1.5 inch square to make the middle. Hold on. As it's been a couple of days, I can't remember what I filmed. So that's how it's going to end up. They're obviously different colours, with the little blocks in between. Now the leaflet that I got, the printout I got, it said sew that strip all together to sew it on, but I do it a different way. So first of all, I put a 4.5 inch, I lay it down on the table. I'm going to show you the table to show you what I'm talking about. Because the darker ones I'm eating in the middle like that, I lay each one on the table. Doesn't matter if you put a border around, but obviously you've got to have a raw edge to put a border against, if you can see what I mean. So what I'll do is my 4.5 strips, I will sew on each one there. Make sure these are the right way round. There is a right and a wrong side to this cream on cream. I don't usually do this, I pick them up as I go, but it's just to show. I sew it on there. That's not very good. So I'm going to do them. I've got some on a chain here, but I'm going to show you these first on my machine. Hopefully you can see it. No, you can't see it for now. Hold on a minute, let me make. Okay, I'm going to sew this side borders. Just make sure again that's the right way. Side borders onto the side of these blocks. So I've got some already sewn. What I've done is I've piled them up on the table in that fourth section and just lift them off one at a time. So quickly do these four. Not dressed up today, old stuff on today, not going out. Three, and the fourth one. Right. right sides together. There's my scissors. Right, so as you can see, I've got a whole string of them together. And I'll take the last four that I've done off. Maybe I was two in a minute. And what I usually do is on my table, I fold the seam back, just press it. I'm going to use this as my table. So again, I want these blue, where am I? Yeah, them blue bits towards the middle. I don't want to move the camera again, that's the trouble. It's not very stable with the different angles. Anyway, that's the two sections there. It's just to make sure I got the one with the little block on it the right way. That's why I lay them out. Probably a different way. See, I'm already lost. There you go. See, if I put that there, that would have made them wrong. So I'll do that. Okay. And I'm moving to the table for my own sake, and sew the bottom border on. So that's the way it is on the table. I'll get my 4.5 inch strip of my background and the block that's already sewn, and it's at the bottom. Turn it around, put that the wrong way. I tried to keep it to the dark side. It sounds ominous. And we're just going to sew again the 4, same as this. That's one. This is my bottom. Try not to knock you. Buff up the seams there. Don't have to barre it at this one, but buff them up there, because that's a straight bit going over that seam. And away we go again. Got a bit bent there. Two. Bottom part again. It's going the wrong way. Doesn't matter what way it goes really, because you're going to have some on the cream side anyway, the way it ends up. It's not life-threatening. I was trying to reduce the bulk of corners and stuff as well, so yeah, we're going like that. So, turn it round. Buff up the seams. Do the end there and hold it. Just make sure the seam goes under nice and neat. That's 3. Again, bottom. That towards the darker side. And now that's the bottom, and butt it up again. Straight. So make sure that seam's down the opposite way, and I hold it. You will find your own knack of doing these little things. I have pressed every seam as I go along, but quite honest, and it is easier for when you iron the whole complete block, but this works as well. So again, I will press it back towards the darker fabric on this side. Just a quick press with your fingers is fine. And I will lay it again on the table, or here as the case might be. And this is a fun bit, you know, because I've got to get that to the centre. So I might get a pickle here. See? So them two are not the same. They are. Got the little block in the middle. So it's almost... Oh, see? Lost. That's the middle. No, I should have one in the middle. That's it. So you could have that line. The bottom, I just said the bottom. And again, there. It can be a little bit tricky, as you can see. That's the kind of thing I had at first. I thought, oh, I've sewn them the wrong way. I had too light there, too dark. So that's why I lay each one out on the table. So we want these two seams together now, and these two seams. Okay, so I'm going to fold that one over. Keep hold of it. Hold on, see? Already forgot. It's this seam I've got to sew. So I'm actually going to go back up here, put that to the dark, and there. Move these two out of the way. To the dark. So obviously this seam is going up onto the cream. It's not an issue. It's nothing to worry about. And you can see it, I'm slightly out. Maybe I'll cut my, going by the actual blocks, I might have cut my, that's not very good, is it? My 4.5 inch creams, not quite straight, which wouldn't surprise me. Oh, the sewing, because the fabric stretches, so but it works. It'll work. Don't panic. So I'm rested on the seam while I get the bottom of this straight, so it won't move that matching butt together. So that's one. It comes out like that. Okay. Let me get the other one. Make sure I get it the right way. So just hold on a tick, because I am in a pickle. Why am I in a pickle? I don't know why. Give me a minute. There we go. I got it. So again, I'm just going to use the green little mini block up there. Butt it. Take that over there. Don't pull it, because these are only, because they were stringed through. They haven't got much cotton, so they will pull apart. And of course, you're going to stitch over that anyway to secure it. As I say, it's not a lesson, it's just to show you what I do. If you do a pattern, you find your own way. I'm going to put that up away, see, so make sure that seam's facing up. Watch my finger, see that's moved a bit. I've got a little tool and all here that if you get a little bit caught up, you can push your fabric back with. I know it's not the best picture to see my sewing, but I'm dithering whether to invest in a new machine or not. Sorry, camera, not machine. Like a new machine. So that's the other one done. Now, I've got to meet them. And this is a fun bit. See if I'd gone there, you know, you could go there. I've got the tans in the middle, but I want the dark in the middle. So I know that's right now. Got to see a border in the middle. So again, now this seam's going down, so I must go down on that one. That's going up. That's perfect. See, just by keeping all them green ones going in one direction, it works out. But I've done it like that. That seam going down and that going up. It's not the end of the world. Different if you've done it in every one, but for the quilting part of it, for putting all the layers together. So then we have fun here. This seam's going down here. That's got caught down. So I've got to make sure this one is down. This one is loose right across. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to bring it down as well. Let me just check this one. Yeah, see this one down. Right, okay. You'll see the seams go in their own directions where you caught them in a previous sewing. So just make sure them two are butted against that wee block, and the rest will be fine. There we go. Again, I'll stop on the seam, or very near the seam. Keeps it in place. Just make sure that one on that green block is matching. I don't usually lift it like that, but to show you. And we're on line. A little bit long there, but I don't know why that is. But again, as I said, fabric moves. Not like a block of wood. I'm sure I said that before, or a piece of metal. And that's the block finished. There. I'm really pleased with this. It's a jelly roll that I've cut up. I've probably said that before. Now I'll go and press it. Then lay my bread with the others. Don't know how big I'm going to make this, because it could end up like a double bed. Anyway, we'll go and press it and I'll show you more later on.